quick little bit of footage to show you what's going on here. I got some foam, more foam, and so now we're starting to add in the rest of the topping over there from the far end where the lantern is, over around through the curve and into the reverse turn that will lead into the brewery, which is over here where this mess of tools and supplies are steadily getting pushed away. But hopefully I've got enough here that I can start laying track and use up a lot of that stuff. So you can see it's looking a little rough right now. Where the crates are is where the glue is just now setting up. So I can take those weights off of there. It takes a lot of weight and the occasional wood skewer to keep that from to keep the top level from migrating as the foam expands and kind of moves things around. So I just want to keep the back edges reasonably even. I can smooth out the front edges with my Surform, and that'll all be happy. Next I'll be gluing down this section right here, which is it's about a foot to the left. Well, pretty much where you can see that little notch kicking out right there is the dividing line between that section and this other section here. And once the glue is dried and everything's been laminated together, I've kind of had to do a brick style laminate to get the length I needed, and to basically use a lot of my cutoff pieces from this one and that one back there and some of these others here. Like those angled pieces and chunks that you're seeing there will make up the 4 feet on that back wall there. So my loss right now in terms of foam cutoffs and things like that is pretty much in the single digits as a percentage. I mean, I am not wasting much foam here, as you know, $20 for a 2x8 foot slice. Stuff ain't cheap. So once that stuff's all settled, it'll only take 2 more pieces of full-size foam to do the brewery area, and then my substrate will be complete. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Once I'm satisfied that that is set up, I'll start throwing down glue on that section, get that little puzzle pie put together, then do this one, and then I'll be ready to go on the road for 2 days, because that's what pays for all of this opulent splendor. Everything but a little tiny giraffe. So, alrighty. I think we'll end on that highly obscure reference to, I think, was a beer commercial featuring some Russian guy. Anyway, now that we're talking about beer commercials and Russian guys, I'm going to have myself a Modus Mandarina and enjoy the rest of my night, listen to some Adam Carolla. So that'll take care of this little portion of the update. Alrighty, so shooting another layout update here. You can see I've been a busy boy here. Got the track painted on this module and threw some ballast on it, because I just can't help myself. And all the wiring's done, the switches are done, and so only thing I'm having trouble with right now is the tall switch stand that's supposed to go there. Got one of those. It's supposed to be operable, but I don't think I got my clearances right on that, so that might take some fiddling around to make that work. Some quality time spent with the old X-Acto knife, but in the meantime every other part of it is functional, including this under the table throw system that took 4 tries to get right. I showed a little bit of how those are put together. This is how they work, which is to say, like a charm. So that one there. So that will be a good system going forward for everything over on this module, since I have to do twice as many of them here. I've got 8 different switches that need to be thrown, and yes, 8 switches. So 3 here, 4 in the car shop servicing area, and then this Y here in the back. So that's how that's going. That's all stalled out until I get a few other things figured out. Got some pieces there, working on scratch building a bridge to actually go across here in place of this clunky looking Atlas thing. And have to get some more flex track so I can lay in the dummy Colorado and Southern West Side line there. And track is complete on this module. Just need to poke some holes, solder some feeders, and the switch for this scrapyard track. So then new foam is in and painted, and track is laid across it. So you can see there how things are shaken out. Say hello to my little friend. And so I've got track laid up to this point. Now I got this turn back curve, but I don't want to start laying that in until I get the remaining foam in this mess area here to put in the brewery. Then I'll have to find some place to put all this stuff. Maybe away is a good idea. So a lot of cleanup to do around here. It's quite a mess. Doesn't look like anything but a mess right now, but today especially I got a lot of work done. I cut in this creek bed right here. This track right here is the turn back curve, already pre-soldered to avoid kinking. But I'll get around some of my gear here. So got the lumberyard spur in. This will have to wait. I've actually got to get the old coal dock structure. Probably going to have to scratch build it. I haven't seen a standalone kit for it in the hobby shop, so probably be building that. I don't know exactly out of what, but I'll sort it out. It's got to be a pretty burly little sucker because this is the switchback for the West Metro Petro spur, and so it has to be able to at least tolerate a couple of GP38s in a tank car, just to get to that switchback. So that's how that's going. Got bridge rails here. I'll be you can kind of see the glue there where the original Atlas ties were. That'll kind of serve as a location point for the wood ties that will go in there in its place. I'm using low profile wood ties underneath the bridge rails to give clearance for the rail joiners to slide on and off. But it's only 2 inches of rail, so they can stand freely without going too far out of gauge. I've been test running several cars over it and haven't had any derailments yet. So that's what's been going on here. And then underneath, I've been putting in terminal strips. Yeah. You can see what I've done is I've run the power bus wires straight to each other on the terminal block, and then the feeder outputs come off of that on either side for the module drops to hook into. So I can keep a steady 14 gauge bus running all the way from one end of the layout to the other. And then 18 gauge feeders popping up at various points. There's a set under here, a set leading into this control panel to distribute to the different yard tracks. There will be another control panel here. I had marked this location out for it, but I don't like that it's kind of squeezed in between these two switch throw areas. So I figure I got a little bit more room to work right here. Then another switch shelf needs to be put in. So anyway, that's what we're doing so far. I'm Mike Lindsay. Thanks for coming out.